April 24th, 1820, Congress passed the Land Act of 1820. This was a federal law that did many good things for American colonists.
The land was reduced from 160 acres to 80 acres, and the price per acre was $165 to $125 in what was called the West, and this was available in northwestern and Missouri Territory.
Since this made land affordable, settlers began to move westward, increasing the population in the area.
The Land Act of 1820 was good for everybody, and it started Western movement.
Well, hello there, good sir. Hello. I heard the price per acre was $165, and that has now been reduced to $125. You want to go get some?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, let's go.
Thanks to the Land Act of 1820, all this is mine. First off, it eliminated buying land with credit and helped farmers like me get out of debt after the Panic of 1819.
I'm really concerned about the issue of slavery expanding westward.
I can't take it anymore, it's too much!
Even though the nation was in a depression and people were really concerned about the issue of slavery, James Monroe was actually re-elected. He actually beat John Quincy Adams unanimously. This was the third and last election that was completely unanimous. Even though Monroe beat Adams by a landslide, eventually they worked together to create one of the most influential documents of all time. The Monroe Doctrine, published in 1823, was intended to stop European expansion in the West. It stated that the American continents are hereforth not to be considered as subjects for future colonization by any European powers. The Monroe Doctrine became a cornerstone of future U.S. foreign policy. Some people say that the election of 1824 proved that the era of good feelings was finally coming to an end. All 5 candidates were in the same political party, yet popularity was based on social rather than political issues.
Can't believe all 5 candidates this year are Democratic Republicans.
I know, right? I'm gonna vote for Adams because I think he has nice hair.
No, I think Andrew Jackson is the shit.
Compared to the past elections with unanimous rulings, the House of Representatives declared that no one had won the majority vote, and therefore they would decide based on the top 3 contenders: Adams, Jackson, and Clay. Well, Clay, as the Speaker of the House, used his influence to sway the vote towards Adams, and even though Andrew Jackson won based off of popular vote, John Quincy Adams won the election and became the 6th President of the United States.
Oh my god, can you believe the outcome of the election? Andrew Jackson should have totally won.
Yes, I can believe it because the House chose John Quincy Adams and he is the winner. Wherever.
The Erie Canal was proposed in 1808, but wasn't completed until 1825. This canal connected the Hudson River to Lake Erie in Michigan. This was a way to have direct transportation of goods from the east to the west and vice versa. It was a very slow process and very labor-intensive, but once it was completed, this made New York City America's largest port city, rather than Boston, which once held this title. It was an engineering marvel and was once called the 8th wonder of the world.
The most popular form of commercial transportation in the 1820s was the steam engine.
I wish there was a faster form of transportation so we can go west.
Man, haven't you heard about the railroads?
The railroad? What's that?
Look over there.
Sugar, 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 sugar. Sugar, 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 sugar.
At this time, the nation was predominantly agricultural, and on small farms, all members of the family would participate in the work. Children at these farms rarely attended school, and if they did, it would be very sporadic, and it would hardly ever continue past elementary school. Life on the farm was generally much more safe than that in the city. Although farm life was pretty much the same anywhere you were at this time, most people saw themselves as Northerners, Southerners, and now Westerners first, and as farmers second.
Hey man, I've been working on this farm with my pa all my life. Don't you think we should go to school or something?
I wish we could afford an education, but I gotta help my pa tend to the chickens and the cows.
Speaking of chickens and cows, look at this guy coming in with his backpack.
Yeah, well, I just left school. I graduated from Harvard, and now have a law degree. That's what happens when you own a large plantation and grow tobacco to sell to all those rich white people in England.
Man, look at this guy gloating. Let's get out of here.
Whatever.
Life in the city was a lot different than life on farms. Children did go to school more consistently, but it still wasn't often. Most people had jobs as middle-class merchants, but the economy still lied in the hands of the farmers. Men were generally clean-shaven. The working class wore plain and durable clothes, but would have one or two fancy outfits that they would wear only to religious ceremonies or to special social events.
The rich wore elaborate clothing. Women wore hats made of straw or silk, and their dresses were made to give them hourglass silhouettes. They also wore tight corsets to help give them this figure. Paris was the world's fashion central at this time, and all American dressmakers modeled their designs after the French.
The poor, including slaves, generally owned no fancy clothing and only wore things made of cheap, coarse material designed to last rather than for attractiveness or comfort.
On April 24th, 1820,
Oh, we started?
What the hell? I'm really concerned about the issue of slavery.
Can't take it anymore!
Rolling.
Can't believe all 5 candidates this year are Democratic Republicans.
No,
Andrew Jackson. Go.
Oh my god, can you believe the outcome of the election?
No, John Quincy Adams won because the House chose him.
No, I didn't even say that.